everybody, George here, going bracket racing. Doing something a little bit different here today, but of course it can't be done without the people that help us keep the lights on here at Going Bracket Racing. Proform Parts, Syntex Printing, Champs Performance, Driven Racing Oil, TSR, Racing Products, BRG 3D Printed Motorsports Parts, things of that nature. Ken Jones Performance, we thank you guys a lot. Team 14, hopefully I didn't leave anybody out there. So thank you guys a lot for being partners with us, advertising-wise, and continuing to support GBR and its community. Doing something a little bit different here today, as it's not something I've ever really done before. A little bit off the cuff, a little bit needed as well, I would say. So during this off season, I've found myself wanting to make some upgrades to my racing program, and ended up not going a certain route, which would left me with a little bit of funds that I had set aside for the off season to make a few upgrades. Well, what did I do with that money? Went on over to CrewChiefPro.com and made a new purchase here. I ended up purchasing the basic software for CrewChiefPro. They sent it to me priority mail. I want to say I purchased one day, or maybe a Monday. I think it was a Monday. And this envelope showed up on my doorstep on a Wednesday. So very, very speedy delivery of this particular product. So let's see what this thing here contains. We have a instruction manual, which I will gladly go over within this video with you guys. Kind of give us at least on the right step to getting the software downloaded to our computer for usage. 2 CrewChiefPro decals that'll go on my race car. And definitely some pretty nice decals too. So that'll go on my race car here after a while. And of course, the one thing we've all been waiting for, the USB drive containing Crewchief Pro Software, to which I'm going to be installing. I've not installed this yet, so this is going to be the first time for me installing it. So mind the mistakes that I might make and the words that I might fumble over. One thing I want to point out right off the bat with the Crewchief Pro software and how it's delivered to you is the USB drive. A lot of newer computers have something different called USB-C, which is a whole lot smaller than this drive. Don't let that deter you, as you can find this little gadget right here. This is a conversion from USB to USB-C. It's nothing, guys. You can find that with no problem on Amazon, at your Best Buy, anywhere you want to go. It'll fit right on top of that old doodad. And next thing you know, you have a USB drive that is turned into USB-C. So don't let that deter you. I'm going to plug it in. I have no idea what's going to happen to the computer when I do this. I don't think the files are going to open. I'm going to make them open. You might not see it yet, but eventually I'll start sharing the screen and you'll be able to see all this stuff. So get that plugged in real quick. And you might hear a doo-doo like you just heard. And once that file is ready for me to open, I'll get it opened up. It's on my other screen here, and I'll start showing you all of that here in just a moment. So bear with me, guys, as we go through this. And definitely one of the first pages we get is a thank you directly from Crewchief Pro and its partners, or should I say employees that work there. Definitely looking through this first page, I see he posts around 600 updates and enhancements a year. Those enhancements are coming directly from the racers, according to the customers, I should say, which are racers, according to this document. So pretty sweet deal there. That's one page that comes in. We'll switch it up. Then we'll start getting into some technical stuff, guys, and some things that, you know, I think anybody could do using the instructions that come along with the Crewchief Pro software. So first and foremost, it is highly recommended that we have a password on our computer, because it'll establish us as the administrator of the computer, which allows us to make changes we're going to need to make in order to have the program run optimally, is the best word I'll use there. And so security of our Windows computers may be blocking a few things that require administrator's approval. And so That's one thing I wanted to point out to us right off the bat. I'm going to share my screen real quick and give you an understanding of what I'm gonna share with us today. So, of course, this is what pops up, and you might get a little alert down here to basically open the file once you've plugged in the USB drive. That could all be accessed right here on the below. You'll see a little pop-up box come up roughly about this big here, and you can click open the files and it'll bring this file up for you. Okay, so that's one of the first things you'll notice once you plug in. Following the instructions here, it says new computers using computer settings, make sure the S mode is disabled. I strongly recommend, if you're not 100% computer savvy, using the good old YouTube University. And while you're there, make sure you subscribe to the Going Bracket Racing YouTube channel. YouTube University, I just kind of joke and call it YouTube University because I think you can learn just about anything on YouTube. Head over there and type in the exact thing that I just read out to you. I'm going to grab that page back. How to disable S mode in whatever Windows version that you have. Generally, this will pertain to the newer computers. Windows 10, I actually run Windows 11 with my PC. So definitely a way for you to disable that, allowing for apps to be installed from multiple sources and not just from the Microsoft Store. So definitely follow the instructions there. I do believe here, real quick, I'll show you what it looks like on Windows 10. Mine's is already disabled, so this may be a little bit different for you whenever you get to yours. But in system, you'll bring up this screen here, and I do believe you could type advanced here, but you're going to be going into accessibility. And inside of accessibility, I'm sorry, not accessibility here. Windows Update, Privacy and Security. Here I go, losing my way, guys. But 1 second here, I'll get you right where I went. And again, YouTube video will help you here. So it's not accessibility, it's actually the System tab. And you'll come down here to Activation. And inside of Activation, if you have S mode enabled, it'll say so right in here. It'll say Windows 11 Home S mode enabled or something of that nature. Basically, the YouTube video will walk you through this, but you'll go to this, click down, and go to Open Store, and that'll help you turn off S mode. It is a permanent change as well, just so you know. So, wanted to get that showed to you real fast. S mode is important to disable. The next page begins to tell us about from the list of files. Double click on the version that I have, which is going to be 792. So I'm going to double click that. It's pulling off to another screen, so if you see my cursor, I'm just going to grab it and pull it over here so you guys can see what I see. There we have the installation process. I'm going to follow instructions here and just hit next, and I accept through the license agreement. Hey Don, I didn't read all that. Seems pretty long. It's okay. I hardly ever do. Thank you for what you do, by the way, Don. So let's get this bad boy installed. You'll see it's asking me, do I want to let CrewChiefPro make changes? I, of course, hit yes because I want to let it install. You will also need to hit yes. If you hit no, guess what? You're not going to have CrewChiefPro. So while that's loading, I'm going to have me a quick sip. I guess I'll go ahead and play while that's downloading here. Seems like it's moving a little slower than I expected with a faster computer, but it's probably connecting into CrewChiefPro somehow. So you get a moment to walk away from the computer right here. So hang in there for a second, guys. We will be right back to you. I'm gonna give a little bit of reference to our sponsors. Hang in there.
TSR Racing Products has everything you need to make your Powerglide Turbo 350, Turbo 400, and 727 transmissions the best they can be on the street or at the track. With exceptional products, customer service, and over 30 years of experience, TSR Racing Products is always available to help their customers with any of their transmission needs. In-house machining ensures you only receive the best products from TSR Racing. Visit TSR Racing Products at tsr-racing.com or give them a call at 800-394-5889.
BRG Motorsports 3D printed racing parts are able to provide you with whatever you desire to enhance your drag racing operation. Items like safety belt magnets, nitrous bottle holders, and even quick release delay box mounts are able to be obtained from BRG Motorsports 3D printed racing parts. Have a look at top-selling items such as helmet hooks and steering wheel hooks, which are proven to make it easier to maneuver throughout your race car. You can contact BRG Motorsports 3D printed racing parts at telephone number 765-729-1177.
Unleash your horsepower with ProForm Super Street aluminum roller rockers. Utilize the latest cutting-edge manufacturing and design processes. The dual contoured body design allows for more rigidity with a greater strength-to-weight ratio, increasing engine power. Super Street aluminum roller rockers are available for a variety of applications and specs for Chevy, GM, and Ford, including pedestal mount, as well as a Chrysler shaft mount style rockers. On the strip or the street, ProForm has you covered.
All right. As always, thank you everyone for joining us here on the Going Bracket Racing YouTube channel, is where this video will be updated here. We also have Facebook, podcast format. You can find us on pretty much any social media platform. So definitely shout out to everybody who's hit that follow button, that like button, that subscribe button, whatever you've hit, in order to get your notifications when we go live with things like this. Thank you to ProForm again, BRG and TSR, all of our sponsors, to be honest there. You guys are awesome. If you need anything such as what we can provide as an advertising partnership, feel free to reach out to us. We'll be more than willing to do what we do for all of our sponsors for you as well. So let's get back into it. I'm going to pull back into the screen here, as when we left, we were installing Crewchief Pro Software into my computer. And so you can see here the Crewchief Pro Software is now finished, and we can get that moving into the next phase. So bear with me here while we get that going. I'll just get my mouse picked up here real quick. 1 second. All right, here we go. Get over there. There we go. Now let's hit finish. And that is done. Okay, so I think we should find a icon somewhere. If I don't see it, I'll get it added. It's actually on a different screen. I'm gonna pull it over so that you guys can see it. This is what the Crewchief Pro icon's going to look like right here. Brilliant idea there, having the Christmas tree with the green and the red light added into it. You can see I have the correct version according to the instructions. 7.9.2 is the version that I installed. So pretty sweet, pretty awesome there. And let's go ahead and now go to the next step, which is pretty important from what I see here. It says to follow the do not open the program. Do an update immediately after installing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up the web page here and go into Crewchief Pro, and then grab the download that he's speaking of. So bear with me here while I do that. Gotta pull up a new screen here. Thanks for being here with me. Let's see. Takes me a little bit of time sometimes to move through this. Generally speaking, with the Going Bracket Racing YouTube show, Going Bracket Racing show, we have everything already completed, so it might take me a few seconds. There we go. There we go. Now I'm getting it moving. All right, let's get that out of there and let's go on in here. Crewchief Pro website. First of all, I would, if I were you, I would take a little bit of time to scroll around this website and get a feel for it. There's quite a few things that you have the ability to click on, look at, purchase. If that is something that you're wanting to do, you have the ability to purchase here, which is pretty neat. So definitely take the time to visit this website. I'm going to click through a few of these links. You have the Crewchief Pro Software page. Looks like it does stay on CrewChiefPro.com in this particular, but you get to read through all the versions and things like that that Don does and updates us with. Weather station. This is kind of the ability for Don to provide us with a few weather stations here, which I will eventually be adding to my my rig as well. I don't quite have the weather station part, but I'm gonna have it one of these days here. Definitely something that I feel will enhance my bracket racing ability. You can see everything here from t-shirts. I need to get me one of those pretty soon, and you know, prices are all listed here as well. So I'm gonna come out of here and go on back to Crewchief Pro website and take you through real quick. Right up top, the important updates section. It says click here to download updates, and then it brings you to this page where it says enter here, right? Well, I've already done this part, and when you get your instructions here, Don's going to provide you with a password and a name in order for you to get into this. I'll let you follow your instructions as you get Crewchief Pro for yourself and not actually go through this particular part. But when you click enter here, this is where you enter those credentials and hit submit. Okay? And that'll bring you into the actual software. Let me see. I might be able to just hide my screen and get in there real quick. I actually think I can. So hang on a minute here and let me log in and give you a little bit more info. All right, yes, I was able to get in, and I can show you what you're going to want to click. Remember, this is what I have to click, so follow your own instructions here, guys. As I move on to page 2, it's telling me to click the 7.970 update file. I click that file. It's going to come into a download. Newer computers, it's going to ask you to make sure you approve the file, as it's going to ask if you trust who you're downloading from. Make sure to approve the file and allow it to download to your computer. This is going to allow you to be able to update Crewchief Pro. Remember, do not open Crewchief Pro until you run this update. You see where I am now within the instructions. I've already downloaded this, just for your record, so I'm not going to go through downloading this particular piece. What I am going to do, however, is minimize this screen. So let's get back over here and minimize this. I know where all of my downloads go. This is the actual flash drive. This is not what you're going to need. Let's go ahead, and you'll know it's a drive by saying USB drive up top. I'm going to close that. I don't need that right now. I'm going to go, however, into a folder, and I'm going to go to downloads, where you can see all of my downloads for GBR right here. Here's the update 7 that I've taken off of the Crewchief Pro webpage. Let me go ahead and open that up. I'm going to minimize this. Let's make sure that comes up. I see it's still loading here. It might take just a second, but it's loading. When the screen goes black like that, guys, it's basically asking for you to allow the computer to make changes. I always hit yes because I know who I'm dealing with here. This is Crewchief Pro, and I want this update. So I did hit yes. All right. Everything is looking good. And let's go ahead and try to open up Crewchief Pro. I do believe everything should be good to go here. as I feel like the update went through as it should have. Um, Let me see here. I will take this time to throw out a point here that if you run into a situation to where you might need some assistance here, Crewchief Pro, again, one of the perks of having this program was how speedy they delivered it to me. And I'm going to go on a limb and say, with that type of a turnaround, they're going to have a pretty good customer service base as well. So I believe that there's definitely a telephone number. I'm looking for it here that I can give to you guys in case you run into a situation to where you might need some assistance. Let me see. Yeah, here it is right here, guys. So I'm going to bring across the Crewchief Pro software right now. As the update does look like it went through for me. I've got this particular mode here. I've got several screens. I'm going to maximize it and see if it doesn't look to hinder any of the quality of this program right now. So, but I do know in the instructions that there's a maximize and minimize instruction that some of you may have to use if you're using a certain type of a monitor. Again, the instructions are well detailed with this type of work. But if you look up top here, once you get everything installed, if you run into any trouble, there's a telephone number in the very top of the Crewchief Pro software. I feel like that number is probably going to be best to troubleshoot any issue that you have. Considering this is someone who makes software for a computer, I don't anticipate there would be an issue that you could, if you could explain it to him, that he wouldn't be able to walk you through. At the same time, everybody knows how finicky computers could be at times. So, and they're constantly updating them as well. So there's always something that'll happen. I know myself, it took me a long time, as I said in the beginning of this show. I'm running Windows operating system 11, even though 10 and 11 are seemingly the same. You really wouldn't be able to tell the differences. I'm trained not to update until I understand the bugs or the problems that have been worked out. So at any rate, there's always updates coming in and things happen. So let's go ahead and enter into this software, I hope, and let's see what we got here. Looks like we all know that I have some Texas tracks here. Don must be racing at Texas tracks as well. This track is in St. Louis. I have Extreme Raceway Park already calibrated in mine. But one of the main things I want to show you guys, because it's not, excuse me, I need a sip of water, but it's not necessarily something that I can spend the time to go through with you. But at Crewchief Pro does have a YouTube channel, and you can go there as well. Hang on one second, guys. Excuse me. I had a little bit of cough there, but one thing that I know for a fact I'm going to use quite a bit, when I'm looking up top, I should be able to see logbook. Let me see if I can find it. Yep, there it is, logbook view. This is one thing that I know that I'm going to use quite a bit. This is a very, very well put together logbook, and it's going to help me keep all of Mo's runs in one specific area, and then call upon this database to potentially talk to other databases. So remember, Crewchief Pro has a website, a YouTube channel. Feel free to use that. It'll definitely help you out. So guys, that's pretty much what we have here today here at the Going Bracket Racing YouTube channel. Definitely, should you need anything of the nature that I just went over and maybe want a product review or something explained to a customer or shown, it is something that we have the capability of doing. I myself am more of the technical side of it, but Casey definitely is more mechanical. So the things of the nature that you might need in order to show off what you have or what it is that you are trying to give education on, certainly reach out to us and we can put something together. As always, guys, we thank you for joining us here at the Going Bracket Racing YouTube channel. We can't do it without you guys, and certainly want to make sure that that's known at all times. Sponsors, we thank you. If anybody needs anything from us as far as for a marketing partner, always reach out to us. We'll be more than willing to help you. For now, thanks for joining. Have a good one.